Y'all know me. I come in, I'm confident. Thank you. We're going to see. Yo, what's good, folks? We are back. It's another episode of the Fantasy. We got Sean in here. We got Twan in here. We got Mech in here. What's going on, fellas?
What's good with you, man?
Playoff fantasy football, man. Hope y'all ready.
It's
Hope
the
y'all
time.
ready out there. If you made the playoffs, congratulations to you.
Yeah, facts. This is the time.
Made the playoffs. Feel good, man. We here for y'all.
Your select few. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your select few.
Yeah,
So you know what I'm saying?
y'all.
That's a milestone in itself. You know what I'm saying? So you're in the place to be if that's you, because you know what I'm saying, we got the Start Ems and the Sit Ems going this week. But before we get into that, you know what I'm saying, go ahead, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that, man. Subscribe. We do these shows every week. We got a couple weeks left. You know what I'm saying? This is crunch time. You know what I'm saying? This is the time that matters the most. Best time of the year. So if you haven't, subscribe to the channel. And we got Start Ems and the Sit Ems. Twan got the Start Ems this week.
Yeah, I got to start this week.
Twan got the Start Ems. So let's not even waste any time. Let's get right into it. Go ahead, bro.
All right, yo. These are for those who are out there. I really like these starts this week. I feel like all these starts probably gonna finish potential top 10 finishes.
Ooh.
My last, we wait for the last quarterback. Maybe not top 10 finish, but you never know. So we're gonna see. My man Steph is at 3. Got the 10.
There you go. There you go.
All right, so now I'm focused.
Green.
All right, so now we good. All right, so look. Hey, yo, Dak Prescott. Hey, yes, sir. All right, look. Dak Prescott, man, he gets Jacksonville this week. I think he's gonna have a field day. I think Dallas is gonna regroup this week. You know, they played a tough game last week against the Texans.
If they couldn't do it against them,
but listen. I mean, because that's any given Sunday. Like, I mean, Dallas is what's their record? Like 10-3 or something like that?
10-4.
10-4? Yeah, 10-4. Thank you for the correction. I needed that. But at the same time, they're 10-4. Solid. There's a solid football team that we're talking about here. Is Dallas Cowboys. I mean, all props. Credit's given when credit is due. Even though you know how I feel. And look, I feel like this game will go back and forth. I don't even got Dallas defense really shutting down Trevor Lawrence this week, because I like Trevor Lawrence as well. But at the same time, you know, Dak is a solid quarterback. I feel like they're gonna get back in the film room. They're gonna see what they did wrong, and they're gonna expose the Jacksonville defense in regards to the passing game. I think it's gonna be a high scoring game. And Jacksonville is also 25th against quarterbacks fantasy this year. So if you got Dak Prescott this week in fantasy playoffs, fire him up. I like him this week. Top 10 finish for sure. Dak Prescott can also use his legs. I mean, he probably hasn't used them that much this year, but he's more than capable of running the ball. Next guy on this list is going to be Kirk Cousins versus Indianapolis. Y'all saw what the Cowboys did to Indy 2 weeks ago, even though it was mostly the Dallas defense. But Kirk, he's been up and down these past 2 weeks. One of those matchups was against the Jets, though, so it was a tough defense. So, I mean, you got to temper your expectations there. At the same time, Kirk Cousins, he's looked really good, man. I mean, before the bye, the Colts were destroyed by the Cowboys, just like I said. And I like the Vikings offense to do the same to the Colts, because the Colts not really playing for too much. And without Shaquille Leonard right there in the middle of that defense for Indy, it's looked a lot different this year. They went from being like a top 5 defense to one of the bottom defenses this year. So I like Kirk Cousins in the dome. Fire them up for sure. They're playing for playoff spots too. Justin Herbert versus Tennessee is number 3 quarterback on this list. Like I said, I really like these guys to finish potential top 10 finishes this week. Justin Herbert's wide receivers have arguably the best matchups this week. I like Justin to destroy the Titans this week, as they have been. They have been dismantled the past 2 weeks by the Eagles and Jacksonville's passing offenses. So they get Justin Herbert this week, or I feel like is the better passer between, the Eagles and the Jacksonville defense. I like Justin Herbert as a quarterback this week. I like he might have all his weapons available this week. So you're going to fire him up. We're going to get more into Justin Herbert's pass catchers a little later. But Titans are also 31st against quarterbacks in fantasy this year. So definitely no reason to be sitting Justin Herbert. I mean, you're not sitting him, but at the same time, these are guys I really, really like going into the fantasy playoffs. If you have this guy late, he's coming on, then hey, enjoy the show. Last but not least, my man Brock Purdy. Like I said,
interesting.
I like them all,
Very.
But maybe not top 10. Maybe not
confused.
top 10. Maybe not top 10. But I'm gonna give you the case for Brock Purdy. If he starts, I like the matchup this week. Seattle, they always seem to be in that tight game. I think Brock Purdy's going to be the guy that's going to be able to make some plays for this offense this week.
That's
lot of people-
49ers quarterback.
49ers
right?
quarterback,
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I feel
I
like
like-
he's
I like-
part of a good system.
Oh, playoff time. You think he's a starter right now? He's a starter.
It's do or die right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you got to, if
Do
you
or
have
die
to
right
pick up
now.
a quarterback, then yes, I'll pick him up over Ryan Tannehill. Like that's where we are. You know what I'm
He's
saying?
part of a better.
It's not-
I feel like
it's
he's
not-
part
I'm
of a
not- I'm
better
not saying-
situation.
I'm not saying of course you're starting. You like my man says. Of course you're starting the other guys. I'm just saying, like, if you have to pick up a quarterback, if you was getting by with like Marcus Mariota, who was fucking put on IR, you know what I'm saying? Somebody like that, you're not picking. I wouldn't pick up Ryan Tannehill. I wouldn't pick up Andy Dalton. I'll pick up Brock Purdy because of what he has around him is that much better. And Seattle's defense is not really that good. So, I mean, there's potential there. I'm not going to say top 10 for Brock Purdy. Just like I said, like I feel like somebody on my list is not top 10. This is probably the only guy when I go through these stardoms, so I feel like it's not top 10. But Brock Purdy could also have a solid game because of what's around him. You got CMC.
Does he run the
I mean,
ball
there's
at
no
all?
Debo.
I never.
He scored. He scored a rushing touchdown in his first start.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like Brock Purdy. But at the same time, I have right here also CMC could steal the show because the Seahawks are 31st against the run in regards to running back. So I'm gonna throw that in there. But if they need him to throw, I mean, he's throwing the Ayuk, he's throwing the George Kittle. Juwan Jennings is a good little role player. I'm not gonna say he's Debo Samuel, but at the same time, I feel like Kyle Shanahan is gonna make this. He's gonna draw up the plays. I mean, Kyle Shanahan is an offensive mastermind at the same time. So I like Brock Purdy. If you need somebody to fill in, if you need somebody to get you a solid, I would say 12 to 15 points at the quarterback position, I think Brock Purdy can get that for you. All right. You're going to move on to the running backs. Isaiah Pacheco is my running back start of the week. For those who have hung on like I did, and I missed the playoffs, though. I missed the playoffs. But for those who hung on and have Isaiah Pacheco, enjoy the show because I'm going to give you some numbers. 10.7, 15.1, 15.2, and 10.8 are solid half-point PPR numbers for your seventh. He's a seventh-round pick, and he's also the flex option on your team. He should not be your RB1, your RB2. If you're plugging Isaiah Pacheco in at your flex, you're solid. You have to be good to go. He gets the best matchup of his young career this week. He gets the Houston Texans, who can't stop a nosebleed. He's definitely a top 10 play for me this week. I feel like they're going to just dismantle the Houston Texans. They're playing for the number 1 seed out in the AFC as well. So I feel like they're going to alleviate that. I feel like if there's a game where Andy Reid is like, yo, Patrick Mahomes, we can probably dial it back. We're going to need you late in December, early January. I feel like this is the game. I also like Jerick McKinnon in this game as well, but Isaiah Pacheco is the early down back. So I like Isaiah Pacheco to finish a top 10 finish this week. I feel like he gets back to those 15-point numbers, half-point PPR. The next guy on my list, I like Brian Robinson Jr. versus New York Giants. Robinson is the guy in Washington's backfield. I mean, we're done with it. Antonio Gibson, I feel like he was a little bit banged up 2 weeks ago, but coming off the bye, he could come out and he could be healthy. But at the same time, 21 carries, 96 yards against this same Giants defense 2 weeks ago. Remember that they played them 2 weeks ago, and Washington is really conservative with the game plan because they want to protect Taylor Heineke. So, I mean, being conservative in the offense, you got to run the ball. They want the game. They want to speed up the game. They want the clock to be running because they know that their defense can do just enough to get them by. So, I mean, I feel like Brian Robinson Jr. is going to be relied heavy on. This is a primetime game. Last time Washington played in primetime, they played the Eagles, and the world found out about who Brian Robinson Jr. was when we took down the Eagles, who were undefeated. But it's another story for another day.
B-Rob, I like that start. I like that
cool.
start with B-Rob.
Next guy on my list, I like J.K. Dobbins.
Cool.
J.K.
He said, all right,
Dobbins.
cool. I don't care what you
Look
think.
at
He
God.
said, I don't care what you think.
No
Hey,
one
what you-
to speak on no
Hey, look.
starters.
Nope.
Like,
We keeping it moving.
He said you were
Keeping
last
it
week.
moving,
He
keeping
said
it
you had
moving.
him last
So now I'm
week.
fucking with you, but no, I mean, I feel you though.
Why you like
why
B-Rob?
you like the star? I'm
I
fucking
like
with you,
B-Rob.
man.
He started to come out, you know.
He
All
said
right,
there's
no,
two
no,
people
I
on
feel
this show. There's two people on this show, Antoine. Or three.
I'm rolling.
Three.
So look,
All right,
hey,
cool.
look, for
I'm
those who
fucking
don't
weak.
know, oh, you cut it to my parlay time. I'm trying to get my second quarterback in real quick. I'm trying to hurry up and rush this start.
Nah.
Hey, but nah.
I just want to say I like B-Rob this
Hey,
week.
but nah,
I like
for
B-Rob.
sure. I appreciate that, bro.
He's starting to be a bruiser out there.
Yeah.
Good.
Hey, is Gibson banged up though?
I mean, a little. I mean, it's a good 1-2 punch. Gibson, third downs, and you know.
I know. I thought that Gibson
Are they
was
not getting
hurt.
equal carries though?
No.
Like, I haven't really been
Nah.
peeping.
Brian
No.
Robinson's
Brian Robinson
getting
is
the bulk
getting
of the carries.
touches. Yeah, he's getting touches. He's been getting the touches though lately. The next guy on the list, I like J.K. You know, hey, J.K. Dobbs returned last week and he looked decent, man. Yeah, 15 carries, 120. Sit J like things away from these players. We don't care in fantasy. We just want to see him make plays. So at the same time, I like J.K. Dobbins. There's no need to worry about Gus, King, Drake anymore. If you have those guys moving to the side, it's a wrap, man. You don't know what's happening in his backfield, but I would lean towards J.K. Another week in this offense, another week for him to get healthy is always good. And last but not least, Cleveland ranks 30th against running backs in fantasy. So, yeah, do your thing there.
Do the math.
Cleveland, they just put their middle linebacker, my man from Notre Dame, Jeremiah, I forgot his last name, but they just put him on IR. His season is done. I feel like Cleveland is kind of like packing it in. They just want to see what they got on offense with.
They ready to get to
Deshaun
the
Watson.
offseason.
Yes, they are. A lot of teams are ready to get to the
Big
offseason.
facts. Cleveland's not one of them. I'm not the only one.
Right. Last but not least, Cam Akers at Green Bay. Cam Akers has found the end zone for 2 straight weeks now. So for those who are hurting at running back, those who are banged up at running back, you could probably throw him in there. I think he makes it 3 weeks in a row. I think he gets in the end zone at Green Bay. Their offense is really conservative, even though y'all seen Baker Mayfield come back last Thursday, do his thing. I mean, hey, it is what it is. I'm not saying nothing bad about Baker, but what are the chances that happens again? All right, so
This guy Baker, bro.
all right. I mean,
That's crazy.
It's funny. We was just talking about the joint being scripted, and then they were doing the Baker joint. I ain't send it to
Did
you.
you see-
I ain't
did you
send it
see
to you because it was on Facebook.
but did you see the Tampa Jones too? The Tampa game and this game, it finished the exact same way.
Last week. Yeah,
had
Tom
2
threw a
touchdowns.
touchdown and
Tom had 2
the game.
touchdowns
Yeah.
at the end of the game, and then Baker drove the field. Same score too.
They was like, "This is out of a Hollywood story, scripted
Yeah.
story."
They got fucking Steven Spielberg directing these games.
Like shit, that's what they wanted. It's like, 98 yards. Okay, let Baker score. Right
But
now.
We was talking. I mean, there's what better story could you get from that? Like this nigga
that's
came
true.
in there Thursday, or he
Right,
came in there
right.
Tuesday, playing on Thursday, gives them the game-winning touchdown, and it's like the Rams are. I mean, they're pretty much still their season's over, but like they were dead in the water. Like
yeah.
Yes, they were.
the Raiders actually needed that. I kind
did.
of feel bad for the
Yeah.
Raiders, bro. Like
Yeah.
y'all really fumbled the bag,
Yeah.
bro. Like y'all literally
The
just
Raiders
won.
needed.
They won
that
what 2 or
W.
3 emotional, like
Yes.
3 in a row, emotionally driven games.
Mhm.
It's like, bro, like this was supposed to be the easy one. You know what I'm saying? This was supposed to help y'all get into the
Yeah,
playoffs.
they needed
but
that one.
they let
bad, but
Baker come in there and do it to him.
I mean,
That's crazy.
It's the way
The cookie crumbles.
Football.
It's the way it's scripted. So at the same time, I mean, their offense is conservative. I feel like when they get in the red zone, they look to run the ball in the red zone. They don't really. I mean, Van Jefferson, solid player. I'm not taking nothing away from him, but at the same time, they're not looking for him like they were looking for Cooper Kupp in the red zone. No Allen Robinson, no Cooper Kupp in this game. I think it's going to be Cam Akers in this game that provides the fantasy points for the Rams offense. All right, we're going to move into the wide receivers. I like Christian Watson versus the same Los Angeles Rams, on the other side of the ball. I think that coming out the bye, Aaron Rodgers, he's looking at it like, hey, I mean, at the end of the day, the record might not be that well, but they still got a shot to get in the playoffs. They still got a shot to get a wild card spot. So I like Aaron Rodgers to get Christian Watson the ball. Christian Watson's been tearing it up. Los Angeles ranks 28th against wide receivers in fantasy. I feel like every single week I turn on Red Zone, Christian Watson ends up scoring.
What?
I mean,
Big fact.
like
I think he got 7 touchdowns in like the last 4
4
games.
games. Yeah, like I mean,
He had 3 in one game, and then he had
Yeah.
2 in another game.
and
Made no
one. I
sense.
mean, I'm looking at it like, dog. I don't. Every time I look up, I'm like, man, why is he's scoring every single week? Christian Watson, not Allen Lazard. So, hey, they had a bye week last week to tune things up. Like I said, I feel like they're going to be able to expose the secondary on Sunday. The Rams look worse and worse every single week. In regards to the secondary.
Literally.
Next guy on my list, I like Garrett Wilson, man. Look, I'm high on Garrett Wilson right now. I mean, Garrett Wilson gets Detroit. That's enough said.
Detroit been looking better though.
I mean,
they've been looking. I mean,
but
oh, have they?
on defense? Have they?
Then they just give up like 40 points to the
Give up like
Vikings.
30. They're winning games.
They're winning games.
They're
Yeah, because
winning
they're,
how?
scoring
No,
more points than the other
They've
team.
been going good against the run.
Yeah,
You're
right,
you're
okay.
They're
Okay,
still
give you
giving
that.
up yards.
Yeah,
Hell
they're
of
giving up
and hell of
big
points.
They're giving up
receiving
big air
yards.
yards.
They're giving up big receiving yards. Ever since Mike White has taken over, these are what Garrett Wilson's numbers are in the last 3 weeks: 23.9,
Jesus,
20.2,
Jesus.
and 10.8. I mean, don't get me wrong, the 10.8, little,
It's gonna
and that
happen.
was-
Did he
that-
score?
that last
It's
number.
gonna happen.
No,
Yeah,
but-
so that's good.
but
Yeah.
that last number,
100 yards. Yeah.
that last number, that 10.8 was against the Buffalo Bills in a snowy division game. So they're playing versus Detroit this week. I feel like Garrett Wilson is Mike White's guy. I'm starting Garrett Wilson. If anything, you got to find a way. Unless your team is stacked, you got to find a way to get Garrett in the lineup.
Get him on the field.
Mike is depth. Yeah, you got to get him on the
CH.
field for sure. Yeah, CH. Shout out to CH. But at the same time, hey, somehow, some way, get him in there if you can. I like Garrett Wilson to finish as a top 15, top 10 player this week for sure. Mike White, that's his guy. Josh Palmer, same reason why I like Justin Herbert. I mean, he should have a ton of work with in regards to Tennessee secondary. He's the third wideout on this team, so I feel like he's going to eat up the third corner. Let's see. Let me give y'all the stat. Tennessee is last against wide receivers in fantasy. They're last. Josh Palmer, when he was called on to be the number 1 guy, he performed. Josh Palmer is kind of like a high-end wide receiver 2 that plays the wide receiver 3 on his team because of the talent. So I feel like Justin Herbert is definitely going to be looking Joshua Palmer's way this week. I feel like he's a solid start for sure. I feel like he has potential to finish in the top 20 because he's the third wide receiver on his team. Last but not least, my man, Chris Olave out of Ohio State. Between him and his former Ohio State teammate, Garrett Wilson, I will give the slight nod to him as the better wide receiver. And the reason is because, the better rookie wide receiver this year between Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave. I feel like it's a two-way race there for rookie of the year in regards to wide receiver. This is no slight to George Pickens, though. I like George Pickens. George Pickens is going to be solid. It's just that George Pickens plays Deontay Johnson. Hey, here's what it is. If he wasn't there, George Pickens would be probably a top 20 wide receiver right now. But back to the subject at hand. He gets one of the worst secondaries in football this week in Atlanta. And they play at home. The Falcons ranked 27th against wideouts in fantasy so far this year. So I'm definitely firing up Chris Olave if I'm in the fantasy playoffs. Matt, if you out there, man, you got a good one, man. You got a good little rookie. Got a good rookie going, man. I like that.
Hey, that's
right
funny. Matt hit me yesterday. He's like, who should I start? Chris Olave
or Jerry Jeudy.
Watson. No. What's the dude from Green Bay? Watson.
Options.
Watson
Bay,
and,
Christian
or Mike
Watson.
Evans. I said Olave and Watson.
Yeah, he's benching Evans. He's benching Evans
right now.
Yeah, You need to
right now.
get Evans out of there,
Evans,
man.
you can't do
I
nothing.
know he
man.
scored, but nah, man. I know he didn't even score.
last
He
year.
got
They
called
didn't
back.
throw-
He got called back.
Yeah.
He got called back.
That shit,
called back.
but you saw the touchdown pass
Yeah,
that Tom
I
Brady
did.
did
I
have.
did, yeah.
It was bounced off one person and went to another person.
Yeah.
I know whoever had that person was sick. Was that
Yeah.
Chris Godwin and went off? It went off Chris Godwin and got into
Who knows, bro? The Bucks
somebody else's
Looking bad.
steer clear. So look, the next
are they in the playoffs as it stands right now?
They probably are.
As it stands right now, they're in the
division is
playoffs?
so trash.
Oh yeah,
I think
yeah.
there's like 3 teams 5 and
Yeah.
8, but I think
They're
the Bucks
so
are
trash.
ahead. Yeah.
Like I wish Washington was in that
Because it's the
division right
Bucks,
now.
it's the Saints, it's the Falcons.
Trash.
Who else is in that division?
Trash.
Not the Seahawks. What's the 4th team in that division?
The Panthers.
Panthers,
Yeah, Falcons,
trash.
Saints, and Bucks.
Yeah,
Panthers, Falcons, Saints, Bucks. They're all garbage this year.
Right.
All right. So the next team, the next guy on my list is Gerald Everett. I don't got no I don't got no notes for the tight end, so don't knock me. But
Tight ends don't get no love.
not that they don't get no love. I just
They're tight ends.
They're
You
tight
know what I'm
ends.
saying? Like
I
literally, there's only a
I did
handful
it,
of them
yeah.
that you can
Hey,
use
like-
anyway.
like, these are guys,
You start 'em and
these are-
pray.
these
You
are
literally
guys- these are
big
guys.
facts.
You want
There's only a handful of them that get work.
I
Like
know y'all want Kelsey numbers out of these guys, Mark Andrews
No.
numbers out of these guys,
no.
but you're getting 5 and you're praying for
Yeah.
the 5. Like,
For a
That's the
touchdown.
analysis.
yeah,
Facts.
literally the ceiling is 5 and the floor is 2. So at the same time, I mean, I like Gerald Everett because I think that the Chargers offense is going to go off at SoFi this week, and I think that Gerald Everett could be a beneficiary of one of these touchdowns. You never know. I mean, but at the same time, I like Gerald Everett, man. I mean, y'all been watching the show. I've been telling y'all I like Gerald Everett for the entire season. Excuse me, that's the motherfucking Trulies and the Duce. But at the same time, hey, I like Joe Everett. I do. I like Justin Herbert to be slinging the ball this week. I feel like even Austin Eckler could take a break this week. But I mean, of course, Austin Eckler, get the fuck out of here.
Break for
You
Eckler.
start. Yeah, you start Eck. Eck is going to be Eck. The run game is going to be Eckler, but I like Gerald Everett in this passing game as well. I feel like you could start him. We're not going to put the high end. I mean, not even really high end tight ends. I could put anybody but Mark Andrews and Kelsey on this list. All right, so Conklin, my next guy. You know, hey, that week when I said start Conklin, you know, he dropped a touchdown pass, so I'm going back to Conklin. This week he gets Detroit again. I know how I feel about Detroit's passing game. Detroit sucks. In regards to the passing game, Detroit as a team is solid. Shout out to Dan Cable. You got the troops. You rallied the troops. You got them actually in the hunt for a playoff spot. But at the same time, I feel like this is going to be a high-scoring game. This is a division game, but I feel like this is going to go back and forth. I mean, it's not a division game. I apologize. I'm thinking Todd Conklin plays for the Vikings. But the Jets, they put up points with Mike White behind center. I like Tyler Conklin for those who are looking for a tight end in the fantasy playoffs. If you got no options out there, Conklin's there. You might get 3 to 4 targets for Conklin this week versus Detroit. Detroit's going to put up points, so they're definitely going to have to pass in this game. I know that Jets have a solid defense, but they're going to have to pass in this game. The next tight end on this list can potentially finish top 5. My man Dalton Schultz. I'm not gonna say my man, but at the same time, I got an inside scoop on Dalton Schultz. I know what they do in the red zone with Dalton Schultz and Zeke. Anybody that got Zeke out there, hey, shout out to John. Yeah, man. So hey, look, anybody that got Dalton Schultz out there, yo, starting Dalton Schultz every single week with confidence. I like Dalton Schultz prospects going forward, even going into next year's draft. Give y'all a little tidbit of what we've been working on going into next year's draft. I like Dalton Schultz as a top 5 tight end in that Dallas offense off the bootleg and everything like that play action game. But I feel like Dalton Schultz is involved in every single Dallas game, no matter what, at Jacksonville and that heat. I mean, it's not going to be heat because, you know, it's a little cold right now, but at the same time, it's not a dome. But at the end of the day, I like Dak Prescott to go off. When Dak Prescott goes off, Dalton Schultz has his better days. I like Dalton Schultz in this matchup as well. I don't know who this safety is for Jacksonville, but going to have to speak with James Washington coming back as well. Juwan Johnson. I threw Juwan Johnson as my next tight end in here because he didn't play the last 2 weeks. He didn't play last week because he had a bye. The week before that, I believe he got hurt. If he plays this week, I think Juwan Johnson scores a sneaky touchdown. For some reason, when I watch the Saints and I see Juwan Johnson, he scores a touchdown.
He does. That's what he does.
Yo,
I was like,
who's this guy?
this guy's still a free agent?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Is he rostered?
Bro. Juwan Johnson. I mean, I think somebody has him. I'm not sure, but Boyd has him. So before he got hurt, from week 9, 42 targets, 2 catches, 42 yards, touchdown. Week 10, 5 catches, 7 targets, 44 yards, touchdown. Week 11, 3 catches, 4 targets, 47 yards, touchdown.
Jeez, he gets 40 yards too. Like that's solid.
At San Francisco, he got hurt. At Tampa Bay, he didn't play. He gets a bye week. He's coming back. He gets Atlanta.
Yeah,
I think that he's going to score. I think. I mean, the trend. You're a trend guy.
Yeah,
you're a trend guy.
Sean
loves a good trend.
I mean, you read those numbers, you're like, come on, 11.2, 12.9, 12.2. You would think that I'm reading like Kelsey stats right now. Like, you really would. You'd be like, what the fuck? But I mean, hey, you gotta hop on that train while it's still there. I like Juwan Johnson to get a sneaky touchdown. Clearly, I feel like, I mean, he's liable to score on any given red zone play. They haven't been Alvin Kamara's 3 touchdowns this year have all came in one game. So
No way.
Bro, they all came in one game.
This nigga Kamara don't really be scoring. I mean, who's
we're not gonna go there.
Who's scoring the Taysom Hill?
No one.
Fucking
They
Olave. They're not scoring points.
No one is scoring their
They're not really scoring
But
touchdowns.
they're not really
But I mean,
scoring
yeah,
Like, all
Taysom
their-
Hill's probably
Taysom
the
Hill probably leads
leader.
them into
Yeah,
it.
You can literally if you are a
But there was a
Batman-
game he had like multiple. There was a game he had. There's multiple games where he had multiple
Who?
touchdowns.
Taysom? Oh yeah. I mean, it's probably like 2. But at the same time, if you're a Batman, if you bet the under on all the Saints games, you're up. Their defense keeps them in games. But I like Juwan Johnson, like I said, because the stats I just read out to y'all. 11.2, 12.9, 12.2, half point PPR before he got hurt at San Fran. He didn't play at Tampa Bay. So coming off the bye, it's a week to get healthy and he gets to Atlanta. Saints still playing for a playoff spot. It's a meaningful game. He's definitely going to suit up. We're going to go into the defenses. Panthers versus Pittsburgh. I like the Panthers defense at home versus Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh doesn't really show me too much. They're not nothing to be scared of. You know, I mean, they got big play guys out there, but I don't think this is going to be a huge game. I feel like the Panthers, when they get out, they got Brian Burns getting after the quarterback out there. They got a solid defense. So, at the end of the day, I feel like this is going to be a really low-scoring game as well. I would start the Panthers defensive special team versus Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh is out of the playoff hunt. Broncos defensive special team versus Arizona. For those who watched the Monday night game, y'all know that Colt McCoy's playing quarterback. It's not going to be Kyler Murray. The threat of their legs, his legs is gone. Arizona's wide receivers, you know, I mean, no slight against D-Hop, but D-Hop, Patrick Surtain. Y'all gonna see the Broncos up here probably every week because of Patrick Surtain. Like Patrick Surtain had a pick last week. Yeah, he had a pick. He had a pick last week. He's a dog. Like he's here
to stay.
He's here. Yeah, he's here. This is his second year. It's the second year.
Second year.
Yeah, he'll be top 3. He's already top 3 corners in the league. Him, Sauce, number 1 corner. Who's the number 1 cornerback?
Sauce number 1, you think?
No, not really.
Are you talking about?
Sauce probably number 2. Like Sauce is right there. So Sauce be locking up, bro.
You do.
What's the veteran out there balling right
It's not Jalen.
now? No, he's getting
Yeah,
shattered on.
Shattered on.
I mean, we can say.
I think he's got the most touchdowns given up.
We can say Trey in a way, but I mean, like Trayvon Diggs.
Trayvon
Diggs in a way, but not. I mean, I can't really think of too many corners, man. They're getting exposed. They're getting exposed. But I know that
there's a vet.
I know that
I feel like there is a vet that's been.
Somebody out there.
You've been hearing his
Patrick
name
Surtain,
out
man,
there,
we
bro.
think that
Like,
he's a vet, but he's not.
no.
So that's where I'm going.
Wait, he's a
That's where I'm
junior.
going.
He's a junior.
Yes.
There was a Patrick
Yeah,
Surtain before him,
yeah,
like back in the
yeah,
day. Okay, yeah, I'm tripping.
This
I'm not
Patrick Surtain is here.
He said, but this one. He said, but this
This
one.
man, he's not signing. He's getting tagged.
Mhm.
He's gonna be like, I want out. Like he wants out.
Or pay me.
Washington.
Yeah.
There you go. So, I mean, we're back to the subject at hand again. You know, I would downgrade D-Hop this. I would downgrade D-Hop this week. I don't know. I ain't really.
McCoy at under center and he got Surtain.
Oh, Stephon Gilmore.
I like Gilmore. I like
Gilmore
Gilmore.
been solid.
Yeah,
Gilmore has been
he's
solid.
scrapping.
So I mean, based off resume, I could say. I mean, but I would put Surtain.
I just
over.
I just put in
over
Google.
I will put. All right, cool. This is what I'm gonna do right
Yeah,
now.
go
I'm
ahead.
stamping this.
Pick your top 5 corners right now. I just put it
I'm
in
not putting-
Google
I'm not
top
putting-
corners and
Yeah,
tell
Gilmore-
me what you tell me what you think came on there. Obviously, stuff.
I'm just stamping. I'm just stamping. I think that Patrick Surtain's the best corner in the league. I'm stamping that.
Okay,
I'm stamping that.
but
I'm
do you
stamping
care to give me like who you think is on this list of 5?
For time consumptions, I don't think I can do that because I'm gonna be thinking. I'm gonna be thinking. Like, you know,
Or
I'm
P.
gonna be thinking.
Or P?
I'm gonna be thinking, bro. I'm gonna be thinking. You
He said
can't
time
ramble all-
consumption.
You can't ramble.
Yes, you
all,
can. We've
5
said them all.
quarters.
We actually said them all. So it don't matter.
bro. All right,
It's
so
Trayvon Diggs number 5,
All right,
Stephon Gilmore number 4,
you got
Jalen Ramsey number 3. It says Jalen Ramsey. That's probably Google.
Google.
That's Alexa bringing up the results.
Yeah.
Like she knows. Like he
And I
used to
gotta
be
ask,
nice.
So here's the thing: if I ask Devontae Adams what his top 5 corners are, he's not gonna
He's
have.
not gonna have
Ramsey.
Jalen. Yeah, of course. Of course.
He's gonna be like, bro.
Sauce Gardner number 2,
Yeah, for sure.
and Patrick Surtain number 1.
I like Pat. I like Pat. I like Pat. I like Pat.
You've been speaking Patrick Surtain all year.
All year, all year,
season,
all
bro.
year.
Like
Patrick Surtain.
anybody got all my films. If a wideout is there,
If a White House
the
playing
Broncos-
against him, he's on the sit-ems.
Oh, he's there. Like we had to say Juju last week. Oh, Patrick Surtain. Oh my God. I mean, even though Juju scored,
Yeah.
but I don't think Pat was on him.
No. He wasn't following.
Yeah, he's not following
He's not
Juju.
good enough.
Come on, don't waste my time. All right, so look, at the same time, I'll move on to the next defense, the Steelers. at Carolina. Like I said, I feel like just like I got Panthers versus Pitt, I got Steelers at Carolina. This is gonna be a low scoring game. I bet the under on this game. I don't see too many points being scored. Both of these quarterbacks are mediocre. DJ Moore's a little banged up, even though he practiced in full today. Regardless, he was a non-factor last week. He had 0.6 fantasy points, PPR and full PPR. So temper your expectations there, even though he had 2 red zone targets. We're not gonna get into that. So I like the Steelers defense as well. I feel like they're really going to get after the quarterback. TJ, Minka Fitzpatrick, they should be locking up. They should have no trouble with the Panthers offense. My man has calmed down a lot with Deontay Foreman. He's calmed down a lot in the backfield. They really scaled it back with him. I haven't heard too much. I feel like they're trying to get him involved, but I haven't heard too much about him. And I mean, that's that for that game. If you're betting on that game, stay away from fantasy players in that Panthers and Steelers game for sure. Last but not least, you got the Eagles, man.
Let's hear this.
I mean, the Eagles at Chicago. I like the Eagles at Chicago a lot. I feel like they're going to overpower them. They're just going to dismantle them. They're going to force. I feel like the Eagles will finish as the #1 defense this week because they're going to be up on the Eagles. They're going to be up on the Bears so much that they're going to force them to throw.
He can't do
Fields,
that.
Yeah,
He can't do that.
Exactly. I mean, Fields throwing the ball. Who's playing running back for the Bears right now?
Him. Like this nigga be breaking off 60-yard touchdowns like it's nothing. I've seen him do it 3 times this year, bro. It don't make no sense. How you have a quarterback just do that, bro?
Yeah.
Like that's like Lamar Jackson type shit. But
true.
you haven't even seen Lamar do that in a minute.
Team,
You know what I'm saying?
Eagles team, I mean,
This nigga
they're
feels
12-1. They tied their franchise record for wins. I mean, they've tried. I mean, I think Jalen Hurts has the. I think they tied the franchise record for wins in the season. They have 4 games left to play. Like I feel like they're playing for a purpose. They're still playing for the #1 seed because Cowboys are right there too.
Cowboys 10-3.
They had a bye. Okay, cool. Yeah. So at the same time, I like the Eagles. I feel like they're gonna try this another statement game. The Eagles, they're having fun out there. Miles Sanders, he's acting like Bobby Boucher making blocks. Like, what I mean? If he's out there blocking people like that, your running back don't even care because he knows, like, later in the game, I'm going to score my TD. I don't care. Facts. Breaking off 40-yard TDs to seal the game. Like, that's why he's still in. But at the same time, I like the Eagles to roll against Chicago. I feel like they're going to go up big. I feel like Jalen Hurts and them, they're going to handle business. Chicago's not going to have an answer. They can be in the film room all day.
What's the spread on that game?
It's probably double digits.
Double digits.
I mean, I haven't seen it, but I would say it's double digits.
9.5.
Nigga, the way they spanked the Giants last week.
Bruh, I had the Giants plus 7.
That's why I think I had them like plus 10. I think I teased it a little bit or capped it a little bit. But I had them plus 10. None of it mattered. But also too, but the thing is, like, kind of like my philosophy is you don't see beatings like that within the division. Like double-digit wins. I mean, look at the Broncos and the not the Broncos. Look at the fucking the Broncos and the Chiefs even. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a close game. The Broncos fucking sucked.
Oh, and it was 21. It was like 21. Nothing.
It got bad, but then it got close again. Yeah, then it got close again. Fucking the Bills and the Jets. Like I mean, the Jets are pretty good, but you know what I mean? Like you don't see spankings like that within the division, and these niggas just spanked them.
That was a statement game. I feel like after that Washington game, Eagles have just been on a tear.
Yeah.
I feel like when luckily, look, it's series but at the same time, I mean, luckily Washington played them twice already. They got beat up on the boys again. If we win out, that's another story for another day. Yeah. And look, that's my starters for this week. If y'all fuck with me, hey.
Put them in your parlays. That's what it is. Put them in your
parlays. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like we say all the time, man.
Who's the anytime TD scores this week?
My anytime TD scores. Oh, I like it. Oh, Isaiah Pacheco for sure. Isaiah Pacheco scores at Houston. For sure. He scores.
That'll probably be a plus.
Yeah. Not
everybody. You think so?
It'd be a plus. I mean, probably be a plus. Yeah. Okay. So I like Isaiah Pacheco. I like Garrett Wilson for sure. 100%. Garrett Wilson is going to score. That game's going to be back and forth. I feel like that Detroit puts up points. I like Isaiah Pacheco. I like Garrett Wilson. I like Justin Herbert to throw 2 touchdowns versus Tennessee.
Oh, really?
I like Dak to throw 2 touchdowns at Jacksonville.
Justin Herbert.
And
Justin Fields.
And if I wanted to throw a flyer in there, I think that Josh Palmer scores versus Tennessee because he's going to have to throw those 2 touchdowns to somebody. And I think that
I like Josh
Palmer.
Palmer this week.
I like Josh Palmer this
I like
week,
him.
man. Josh Palmer's going to score.
You said Jawan Johnson too, right?
I said Jawan Johnson.
Sneaky
Look,
touchdown.
You got to do that by yourself because Jawan,
you don't want that to hurt. You don't want that to kill your parlay.
Jawan will probably kill. I mean, because it's like I said, like I
also
mentioned,
probably
I mentioned the
good
injury.
plus money.
Yeah,
It's probably good plus money by itself. Yeah.
Jawan's probably like plus 560.
Jawan Johnson first touchdown score.
Hey.
Plus 5,000.
My gosh. Hey, I sit on that and be like, hey, Tweezy, I subscribe to the show.
Send a tip. You gotta send a tip.
I subscribed. Tell me what else you're feeling, man. Hey, look,
the tip jar is right here.
For y'all on Sunday. Hey, Mac, is it possible? Like, all right, so
What's up?
yeah, I'll put that parlay together. You know, like Josh Palmer,
Yeah,
Garrett Wilson, Isaiah Pacheco to score a touchdown this week. I'll probably put a good like 25 on that. You can post that on our page and everything. Cool. Just post that on the page. We'll see. If y'all feeling it, y'all feeling it. If not, y'all not. But I like those matchups this week. I really do. These are all plus matchups. They should all get in the zone this week. That's how I feel. I need to go with that. I need to do that. Because you know how we talk shit, we don't do it. I need to do that. Yeah, this is one of those.
P, you got any anytime touchdown scores you like? Either off that list or just in general?
Yeah.
I need the slate in front of me.
Oh,
But
I hear that.
but of course, Derrick Henry. Who they play?
They play Tennessee.
No,
I mean,
he plays for Tennessee.
Derrick Henry.
I mean, touchdowns. Yeah, but
Two
that's
touchdowns.
Two.
I like the 2 touchdowns for Derrick.
Like Jamal Williams versus the Jets. Nah.
No, I don't like
Eckler. We like Eckler for a touchdown.
Eckler versus
Tennessee, right?
I like Eckler at a receiving touchdown. I like Eckler receiving touchdown. Tennessee's tough against the run. They can't stop the pass, but against the run, they're tough.
I think J.K. Dobbins scoring is going to be a big one too.
I don't know. The way he was running on that long run, I don't know, man.
Oh,
he looked like he was limping out there.
Wills is not there.
I'm like, are you healthy?
Hey, bro, no, I
Got lingering injury.
He was like skipping.
It's like his legs not straight or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It didn't look good.
No,
it was far from
but he ran for 120 in the tug.
It was far.
Did what he needed to do.
Did what he needed to do. But
The legs work all right.
But I mean, that's what I like, man.
All right. Do we need to take a break or do we want to get into the sit-ems?
Yeah, now we take a little break real quick.
All right.
Bro. All right. Let's go. Take the break.
Good money.
Yeah. Great money. We good?
Yeah.
Look at this.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do
CF is doing the miss right.
Okay, but I'm still gonna do the commercial. So don't scream. FanDuel, you know what I'm saying? We always talk about FanDuel on this show. FanDuel is offering new users a no sweat first bet. FanDuel's new to Maryland, you know what I'm saying? It's not new at this point. It's been here damn near a month now. So if you don't have a FanDuel account, I don't know what you're waiting on, but click the link in our description. You get yourself a FanDuel account, sign up. You get up to $1,000 back in free bets if your first bet doesn't hit. You know what I'm saying? So you put anything you want on a bet, $200, $100, $30, $500. You know what I'm saying? You get it back if it don't hit in free bets. You know what I'm saying? So it's a sweet deal. Me, Twan, Sean, we're always using our free bets whenever we get them. You know what I'm saying? It's a simple way to make some bread. Yeah, that's all there is to it. So go ahead, do that. They also got there. If you're not a first time FanDuel user, you got FanDuel, then you know about the no sweat Thursday night joints, right? Thursday nights, you place your bet. You place your same game parlay, 3 legs of plus 400 odds or more, and if that bet does not hit, you get your stake back in free bets. So another no sweat bet opportunity, even if you already have a FanDuel account. So there's really nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? As far as tomorrow's game, who plays tomorrow? I don't even know. Let's see. We're gonna put together a little 3-leg parlay right now, in case you know what I'm saying you need something. I'm trying to think who plays tomorrow. San Fran and who? Seattle. San Fran, Seattle. Oh, I was talking about Christian McCaffrey. Definitely taking his over in rushing yards. I don't know what it is, but give it to me. You know what I'm saying? No, it's rushing plus receiving I like, but I don't think you can parlay that. I think that's only a play that you can run singly. So I like Christian McCaffrey. If I had to pick one, I would probably go his rushing. No, I might go his receiving yards. What do you think? Go in receiving yards, yeah, because it'll probably be lower than rushing, and he can probably hit it. Like Christian McCaffrey is really like a Swiss Army knife, bro. Like this man gets it however he needs to. So I like Christian. Let me go. Christian McCaffrey plus 40 yards receiving. Let me go. Ayuk is gonna have to be big because Debo is out. Let me go Ayuk plus 70. You know what I'm saying? And let me go Ayuk plus 70. And then let me go for the third leg. They're playing Seattle. Let me get DK 70. You know what I'm saying? DK 70. And let me go Geno 225. 4 legs. 4 legs. I don't know what that is. Let me see what those odds are. 4 legs real quick. Let me just look at that. What those odds are.
That. Plus 6.5. I'm up 27 points right now. Damn near. That's crazy. Dogging.
All right. We got any I mean, I gotta say, what touchdown scores do we like? McCaffrey, for sure.
McCaffrey.
Ayuk is plus 135.
I like Kittle.
You said what? No, yeah. I'm giving out a same game parlay for the no sweat bet.
I like Kittle to score a touchdown.
Oh, okay. Kittle.
I like Kittle.
Kittle's plus 220. Kittle's plus 220.
I like Kittle to score a touchdown tomorrow, man.
All right, but let me get the odds for the parlay that I gave out. So the parlay I got is
and I like Lockett.
Oh, Geno's yard line is 243. I like that. And actually, I don't. They're playing the 49ers. I forgot. they're playing a stout defense, actually. So let me go. But if they're gonna have any chance, Geno's gonna have to air it out. So let me go Geno 225. Let me go McCaffrey. They don't even have a receiving line for McCaffrey. McCaffrey over 38.5. Let me go DK Metcalf over 60, and let me go Brandon Ayuk over 60. That's plus 755. Plus 755 for the parlay. So go ahead and play that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna play it, and if I don't win, I'm gonna get my bread back. But that's that. That's Fando. Shout out to them. Y'all ready to get into these sit-ems?
You're
Shawnee P. You ready for him? All right, let's go ahead.
Hold on, bro. You want to commercial stuff?
No.
we live?
Yeah.
Live and indirect.
Shawnee P.
Getting to these sit-ems. Number 1, we got Jared Goff. My co-host over here keeps saying he feel like this is going to be a high-scoring game. I don't agree. I feel like it's going to be more defense played in this game than you expect. Detroit, people haven't been seeing it. Like,
What?
yeah, they give up the yards through the air, but
My thing with
What you want
Detroit,
me to see?
my thing with Detroit,
Hey, bro.
my thing with Detroit is it don't matter who they play, they will score 30 points. Who have they played where they're not scoring? I think they played there's one game that they had like
But the
26,
Jets-
17.
okay, I got some. Okay.
Yeah, give me something.
So Jared Goff, I don't like him this week. It's playoff time. They're playing.
So this is around the time he starts to shut
exactly.
down.
They're playing a great defense. I'll say week 13 he had 21. Week 14 he had 25. But last week the Jets held Josh Allen to 147 passing yards. Josh Allen
ain't no Jared Goff. I'm just joking.
They held Josh Allen to 147 passing yards. The Jets defense is very stout. And I feel like this is a setup game for anyone in the playoffs that's going to start Jared Goff. This is a setup.
It's a trap.
Game. It's a trap game. Do not start Jared Goff this week. I do not like him this week and they're playing at New York. I don't like Jared Goff. I feel like this is going to be a more low-scoring game than people think. People think, oh, Detroit's just going to be out here throwing the ball. The Jets are going to come back down the field. Nah, I feel like this is going to be a good defensive battle.
Does Detroit play in the dome? I feel like they Soldier Field, right?
Yeah, but nah. I mean, Soldier Field is outside. That's the Bears.
That's not the Soldier Field.
The game is at
New York.
It's in New York.
Yeah,
I'm saying
New
like
York.
it's probably going to be cold.
Detroit plays at Ford Field, and they do play in a dome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about to be cold as
It's
shit.
going to be cold
Cold
as fuck.
weather. And everybody knows New York Jets defense is nothing to play with. Moving along, Tua at Buffalo. This is another game that people think is going to be up and down the field. But I feel like it's going to be more defense played in this game than you think on both sides. I feel like Miami's going to come out. It's a division game.
Buffalo got revenge on their mind for sure.
Buffalo is ranked.
Didn't they get dogged by them last time?
Who?
Buffalo got dogged by Miami in week 1.
Division game, and the Buffalo's ranked 6th against quarterbacks. So I feel like it's going to be tough out there for Tua.
They didn't get dogged. But the Heat got to Buffalo in that game. They lost because they couldn't get they couldn't.
They couldn't, and that's when what's his old boy was
broke the iPad and everything.
That's one of the funniest things I ever seen. That nigga was
Buddy was mad as shit.
Yeah, that was the Ravens that they dogged. Maybe they didn't dog him, but they came back.
I don't see it from Tua. I mean, I feel like it's going to be like a 15-point game for Tua. I feel like it's going to be a hard-fought game, division game, like we said, are always tough. So I do not like Tua at Buffalo in the playoffs. And this is all about playoff football right here. This is not playoff football, but playoff fantasy game. Do you trust Tua at Buffalo? No, I do not trust Tua at Buffalo. Next up, we got Geno Smith
Simply put
versus San Francisco. Another game you think is going to be high scoring. Oh, no. San Francisco is not about that.
Yeah.
I feel like Geno
did it to fucking what's it called?
Very feel-good story this year. I'm happy for Geno.
Who said this game's going to be high scoring?
The way he was able to play.
Who did?
He said it wasn't.
I'm just saying. The way Geno was able to play this season, but he gets San Francisco. I feel like this is going to be a tough game for Geno. I'm not saying he's going to go out there and shit the bed. I just feel like this could be a game where he only throws one touchdown pass, or
I like it.
You know what I mean? So versus San Francisco, they're ranked 3rd against quarterback. So tough matchup for Geno. You're more than likely starting Geno right now because he's been playing very well. I think he's the number 6 quarterback in fantasy. You're probably going to start him, but I feel like it's going to be a tough game out there for Geno.
You think? Say no, you know he's the number 6 quarterback in fantasy, but at the same time, no. Okay, so listen.
This is the week they write back, or this is the week he write.
Hold on. I mean,
you feel like Geno's a start?
Nah, I want to go back to Tua real quick.
Touch on Tua. Let me hear it.
I don't think a lot of people out there got a better option than Tua. Many people.
At Buffalo, you could find some.
Who you starting?
No, listen. Tua is a guy that went very late.
Purdy.
Just like Boyd. Listen, Boyd Allen, and he has Tua. Tua is a guy that went very late in drafts. So I feel like if someone else is on your roster, start him over Tua. But like I said, even with Geno, you might be starting Tua.
Okay, I got
who
one
did
for
my
you.
cousin ask me?
I got you. Daniel Jones or Tua?
Who the Giants play?
Us.
Daniel Jones or Tua?
I'm starting Daniel Jones only because his legs are better than Tua. I like him.
He's throwing to Tyreek and Jalen Waddle.
Don't matter.
That's what do you mean it don't matter? That's all that matters. What are you talking about? It don't matter.
All right, let's
it don't matter.
Daniel Jones has more fantasy points than Tua. 5.
He said it don't matter.
Yes. Right now.
What's the bet? What's the bet?
5.
What's the bet?
10.
5.
What is the bet?
10.
All right, $10.
Daniel Jones has more fantasy points than Tua.
My bet is Tua. His bet is Daniel Jones.
Give me Daniel Jones.
Cool. Yeah, on camera.
Yeah.
Got it. I'm putting a solid one in.
Give me Daniel Jones.
Moving along.
Tyreek again.
Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence versus Dallas. I don't know. I heard this guy
career Dave.
I like this one too.
I heard
we good.
I heard this guy said, "Oh, I like Trevor Lawrence this week." Why? Dallas has been shutting quarterbacks down.
He said, "Why?"
They're ranked 4th against quarterbacks. No quarterback is doing anything against Dallas. And you think Trevor Lawrence is going to go in there? I mean, Mekhi is going to be all over that. Parsons, 2 sacks in this game. You heard it here. Trayvon Diggs, shutting shit down. Come on, man. Like, why do you like Trevor? You like Trevor Lawrence to start in the playoff game? You're starting Trevor Lawrence?
Hold on real quick.
You should not be starting Trevor Lawrence.
First of all, for the viewers,
Trevor Lawrence should not be the starting quarterback.
For the viewers out there, I want y'all to know that Trevor Lawrence is the 7th ranked quarterback in fantasy. 1, 2.
Okay.
Trevor been killing.
2.
They're playing Dallas.
The number 2. The reason why you're going to get a lot more interaction during the sit-ems is because you know.
No, because I let you talk.
Because I let you talk. It's a dialogue.
I like the
It's a
interaction.
sit-ems. It's a
You
sit-ems.
just, dude, you
It's a
like an
sit-ems.
army guy when
It's
you're
a
doing this
sit-ems.
shit.
It's a
General.
General,
All right.
like, no, you cannot.
Said, did you raise your hand before you spoke?
Fucking guy.
This is my time. It's like skipping. It's my
Number
turn
three,
now.
Number three. Yo, the last 5 weeks, yo.
Mhm.
Trevor Lawrence hasn't had less than 16 fantasy points, dog.
Okay.
He's played.
Who'd he play?
He put up 24.1 against Baltimore. I mean, he got 16.2. He got hurt.
Oh,
he got
didn't
hurt.
he have a-
Baltimore
didn't he
also
have a
sucks,
rushing
bro.
touchdown?
Baltimore
Yeah,
sucks
but-
in defense. On
He had
Yeah, yeah.
3 passing touchdowns, 1 fumble.
That was his
and-
best game of his career.
No, it wasn't.
That was yes, it
no, it
was.
wasn't because he had a game
No,
where
no,
he
I'm
had
saying like
24.7 fantasy points earlier
no,
in the year.
I'm not talking about fantasy wise. I'm talking about like his career, like
yeah, like a
come back,
win?
like yeah,
Win.
that was his best game.
I mean, you don't think he's gonna be playing from behind in this game
but all I'm saying is, no,
Yeah.
playing from
against Dallas?
Dallas just almost lost to Houston. I don't know what they're going to be playing from. Like Dallas is, they're not.
Dallas
Philly.
was playing from behind
They're
against
not Philly.
Houston.
Exactly.
They were
They're
literally
not
playing
Philly.
from behind against Houston.
Bro.
What do you mean they're not Philly? I'm not understanding. They're
I'm saying
playing.
you're saying like they're just going.
Dallas can't just jump on niggas
Yeah,
like
they're
that.
not. Dak is not that guy.
But they did it against. Who did they do
it's
that
a
against?
bit-
Who did they beat by like 55 points or some shit
Who?
like 2 weeks ago? Dallas.
Oh, that was
They won like 50
was
something.
Indianapolis.
the Colts.
Oh, the Colts.
But
And I have
yeah.
it. Kirk Cousins
To
on
start
the
the
list.
fourth, it was 21-19.
Oh, they
The
scored
game-
33
The
in the
game just
fourth.
went crazy.
Yeah, they scored 33 in the fourth.
I mean,
Fumble, interception. Da-da.
this is a pick.
Da, da,
that
da.
I don't agree with. What?
All right,
But I digress.
Trevor. Number 4 against Dallas has been shutting all quarterbacks down. Stop
Trevor.
it. Just go to the running backs, man. DeAndre Swift at New York. Did you see?
I
It's
agree.
a trend. It's a trend. But yeah,
The
Jamal-
whole thing.
Jamal Williams is there. It's a split backfield. You never know if it's going to be Jamal, if it's going to be Swift. I don't know. I feel like Swift is only valuable if he can break a big one or a big play. Other than that, I don't like Swift. And he's playing at New York, who's ranked 10th against running backs. So sit DeAndre Swift. It's playoff time. You cannot trust that guy right now. You cannot trust DeAndre Swift. So yeah, sit him this week. Number 2,
So this is not the time to be
Najee
cute.
Harris. Sit him too. He's another guy that is just disappointing this year. Yeah, I mean he's coming along right now, but they're playing Carolina. People probably don't know this. Carolina since week 11 has allowed 0 rushing touchdowns and allowed the second fewest points to running backs. You didn't know that. That's why you should hear them.
That's why you got to tune into this show.
Since week 11. It's week 15. That's 4 weeks in a row. Haven't allowed a rushing touchdown in 4 weeks. I don't expect Najee to get. What, he got 3 rushing touchdowns this year? Why you think he's going to get a touchdown? So
who are those opponents?
that's for you to look up. But, but no, I do not like Najee Harris's playoff time. You're probably starting Najee Harris because
I'm about to say you
because
got to throw Najee in there.
because of his name. You're going to start him because of where you drafted him. But is he going to be productive?
But
this
who's
week?
scoring
I
the
do not think
touchdowns
so.
there in Pittsburgh? He is. They score a touchdown. It's probably Pickens or Najee.
So that means they're not scoring
They're
touchdowns.
not scoring touchdowns.
Like, what do you mean? It's like 4 rushing
I
touchdowns.
mean, but I
this
got
season.
both of these defenses on the sit 'em. I mean, on the start 'em. So hey,
So
I agree.
moving forward, we
I
got
agree.
Leonard Fournette and Rashad White at Cincy. I don't like either of these guys. Like I said about DeAndre Swift, this is a split backfield. These guys are getting 50% of the work.
It's getting tougher and
And,
tougher for Tampa.
Crazy.
Jordan,
Like-
Cincy? Oh my God, Joe
So,
Burrow versus Tom.
They're in a bad offense. Cincy
Pretty
ranks
good.
13th against quarterbacks, and I feel like this is a game where Cincy's going to get ahead.
Yeah,
you
I
might
like
get
that
some-
too.
You might get some receptions out of Leonard Fournette, maybe a sneaky touchdown. But I don't see anything from these guys. Playoff time right now. I mean, they're both flex plays, low end flex plays for me. So you might be starting them on your team, but temper your expectations this week for both of those guys. Moving forward, all Houston running backs. Damian Pierce is hurt. You got Rex Burkhead, and you got some other guy. I can't pronounce his name. I
It's
ain't
not
gonna lie.
Damian Pierce.
It's not Damian Pierce. He hasn't really been doing anything. Burkhead might get some receptions out of the backfield, but if you're a Damian Pierce owner, you're like, who should I pick up? Not any of these guys.
Nobody from that.
Move past these guys and just pray.
For real, yeah.
Pray, pick up somebody and pray they score a touchdown off the waivers, but do not start any of these guys. If you start, you could maybe start Burkhead. Just
Somebody's got to get the carries.
A toss up. Wide receivers. Mike Evans versus Cincy. Mike Evans has failed to score 9 point. He has not scored more than 9.9 fantasy points in the 4 of the last 5 games. He has not scored a touchdown in the last 9 games. So Mike Evans, and since he ranks 5th against wide receivers, and Tom Brady is playing like garbage. So you sit Mike Evans versus Cincinnati. You probably don't. You got some better options. I even like Zay Jones, DJ Shark.
Yeah.
even though he's on my Sims, I like these guys over Mike Evans this week. Chris Olave, guys like that. I'm starting over Mike Evans. It's not looking good for Tampa, so you sit Mike Evans this week for the playoffs. It's hard to sit Mike Evans. I'm not going to lie.
To sit him, but
he's a guy that can score a 60-yard touchdown. But the way Tom Brady's playing, the way Tampa's playing right now,
it's not few and far between that you get that 60-yard touchdown.
Yeah, it's not looking good right now. Next up, we got Amari Cooper versus Baltimore. The chemistry is not there with Watson. If my man Brissett was still in there, I love Amari Cooper. But Watson not being there and just the chemistry that he had with Brissett, he doesn't not have with Watson. Watson is looking like a bottom tier quarterback right now. I mean, I know he hasn't played a game in 2 years before 2 weeks ago. So I'm going to give him some time to get his feet, get his footwork together and things like that. But right now, the chemistry with Amari Cooper is not there. And it's a good matchup against Baltimore. They're ranked 26th against wide receivers. But the way the chemistry is going, I just don't see it right now for Amari Cooper. But like I said, these 2 guys you're probably starting. But temper your expectations. Next up, we got Adam Thielen. The Colts, surprisingly, are ranked number 2 against wide receivers. Adam Thielen has not had over 70 yards receiving since week 4. So he's basically like touchdown reception dependent guy. He has to have like 8 receptions, 60 yards, and a touchdown for him to do anything for you. So I'm sitting Adam Thielen this week versus the Colts. Next up, we got DJ Shark. Since he's been back, last 3 weeks, he's been very solid. Scored a touchdown last week, had 100 yards, but they get the Jets this week, who's 3rd against wide receivers. So I feel like if you're starting anyone for the Lions this week, you're starting St. Brown. I wouldn't start any other receivers this week going against the Jets. Like I said, I don't like Jared Goff, so I definitely don't like his 3rd option on this offense at New York. You're gonna see, man. They're gonna make it tough out there. You hear Goff right now, you just think the Lions are just gonna continue to just put up points. I don't see it this week.
Yeah,
I don't see it.
I mean, that's not really sustainable anyway.
It's not. What goes up must come down, man. And they're gonna come down this week big time. Jared Goff, 9.3 fantasy points for Jared Goff. You heard it here first. Tyler Higbee at Green Bay. Green Bay is 8th against tight ends. And then the quarterback is Baker Mayfield. Don't get caught up in the hype. He had a 98-yard drive. The Rams
don't get
caught.
Bruh, they did nothing up until that last 3 minutes of the 4th. It looked ugly, literally nothing. First play of the game was like a good pass to Van Jefferson, like a 40-yard joint to 20-yard Baker. 20-yard joint to Van Jefferson. Nothing after that until the last joint to Van Jefferson, bruh. It was ugly the whole game. Right there. First play of the game, last play of the game.
Giving hand bumps niggas like no. He's probably can cuss right now. He's gonna throw a lot of picks. So I don't like Tyler Higbee at Green Bay. Cole Kmet, it's a good matchup, but can you trust Cole Kmet to be your starting tight end in the playoffs? I wouldn't trust it. But if you have to start him, I'm not saying he's a must sit this week, but I'm not confident starting Cole Kmet on my playoff roster. If you have Cole Kmet as your starting tight end on your playoff roster, I don't know how you made it there. Moving along, Robert Tonyan versus the Rams. This is another guy that has a good matchup. The Rams can't stop tight ends, but he hasn't had more than 4 targets in 5 straight games. So the usage, the opportunities are not there for Robert Tonyan. Wide receivers, Christian Watson is his guy. So I don't like Robert Tonyan this week versus the Rams. Not in the playoff atmosphere. No. Number 4, Foster Monroe. I just had to put him on here. I think.
Oh my God.
We all drank the
I
juice.
said it
we all
so
drank the
Put
Foster
up a
juice.
goose egg
Bro,
last week,
go
man.
ahead, bro.
Goose egg.
Next.
I think Darren Waller's back this week.
Is
But
he?
I think so, maybe. But I had to put Foster Monroe on this list. I mean, Foster Monroe's projected 0.9. Darren Waller has to be back.
You got Foster in there. You got an issue, man.
Hey, yeah, you have a real
you gotta
bad
go get
issue.
Juwan.
Now.
You got like
hit
as
the
you're watching
waivers.
the show,
I mean, if Foster Monroe is
Go
on
Stop
your,
what you're
Juwan.
doing.
if he's on your
Yeah.
roster right now,
like we'll excuse the
So if you're
absence
watching,
right now.
if you're watching this on your phone, use your
You can
phone to
close
go to
this
the
out
app.
and go to the app.
we give you permission to do that.
Yo,
But
for
come back,
1,000%.
come back.
Yeah, but please go back.
Next up, moving to the defenses. Buccaneers versus Cincinnati. Cincinnati's putting up points. I know they lost Tyler Boyd, but they still have Higgins and Jamar Chase over there, and Joe Mixon, Samaje Perine. They got weapons, so you can't start the Bucks defense versus Cincinnati this week. It wouldn't be a good idea. Since he's out there playing good football right now, Joe Burrow is playing some of the best football he's played all season.
Yes.
So you sit Buccaneers defense versus Cincy. Dolphins at Buffalo. I wouldn't start any defense against Josh Allen. I don't care what defense I got. If I got the Dallas defense, I'm sitting them when they play Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, and the boys. I'm not even gonna say Gabe Davis because he's been quiet, but I feel like he's about to score a touchdown this week. Anytime touchdown score, he's probably plus 300. Gabe, moving along. Colts defense versus Minnesota. Go Kirk Cousins. You know he's due for some turnovers, but he still has weapons out there. He has Dalvin Cook. He has Jefferson that's playing crazy football. Best wide receiver this young since Randy Moss. Like,
I agree. I like JJ, man.
Jay Jefferson.
Who's better? No, but none better. None better.
Don't.
None better.
he's
What
putting
are you talking about?
Randy Moss numbers out there.
He's
Like,
stupid,
it's
bro. This
crazy,
nigga just
bro.
caught 200 yards worth of passes. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Who you gonna say?
Between who?
No, I'm not. I'm saying there's none
Who's the
better
best wide
right
receiver in
now.
the league right now?
No, yeah, I'm not saying he's better than
Oh,
Randy
it's-
Moss.
it's-
No,
it's
I'm not
probably
saying he's better than
Jefferson.
Moss. I'm saying there's none better than him right now.
I say Jefferson
Oh, okay.
and Devontae Adams close.
Yeah,
1A1.
but I guess what I'm saying I mean, Devontae Adams don't get me wrong, he's a beast, but Justin Jefferson's like
I
also
would
making it look
give-
good.
I
You know
would
what I'm
say-
saying? He's
I
also
would
making it
say-
look
I would
good.
say-
So he gets like
Them young
12,
legs,
11
them young
catches.
legs.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He be getting like 13 catches in a game.
I would say no bias. Devontae Adams is a better wide receiver than Justin Jefferson, but it will not take Jefferson long to pass Devontae Adams. It's just,
I like Devontae.
it's just,
man.
it's just,
He's proved a lot to me.
it's just.
Justin Jefferson, he's done everywhere.
Oh,
He's had probably the best catch of the year. He's probably had one of the best games you could put up as a wide receiver of the year. Like Justin Jefferson just does, he kind of shocks you every week. Like, damn,
That's
this nigga
all
doing
fair.
this now. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's
now he does
all
this, and you
fair.
see that crazy catch.
That's all
And he's
fair.
like, damn, now he goes for
That's all
200.
fair.
You know what I'm saying?
That's all fair. A lot of people are going to say that. Let me see. A lot of people are going to say that Austin Eckler is better than Jonathan Taylor. They are
Because
at the running back position.
recency
they
bias.
are going to say that. Yeah, they are going
You're
to say
saying
that.
is okay.
As a running back. Yeah, that's you.
Oh, man.
He's not better than Jonathan Taylor. It's the season. Like
Yes.
He's having a better season.
if who knows what will look. I mean, Justin Jefferson's been playing with Kirk Cousins for 3 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Last time Devontae Adams played with Derek Carr was at Fresno State
Mm-hmm.
back in 7 years ago. But I mean, but who the fuck knows? If he was playing with Aaron Rodgers right now, we wouldn't be hearing about his thumb. He crying, oh my thumb. Like, no, we wouldn't be hearing about none of that. Aaron Rodgers being MVP
Devontae Adams will be having
again.
200-yard games.
Again, you said what?
He'd be having 200-yard games. and stuff like that.
180.
He wouldn't have to because Aaron Jones would also be going off.
Nigga,
Devontae
Dalvin
opens
Cook
all
also, you know what I'm
that
saying? They
shit
got
up.
Dalvin Cook there and just, you know what I'm
And
saying?
Dalvin
Like,
Cook's not doing shit.
what I'm saying is like,
What?
but
Not
it's
doing
not. But
shit.
is it not because
It ain't
he's not talented? No, it's because let's
It's
get Justin
because-
Jefferson the ball. You know what I'm saying? That's the
It's
game
because
plan. Let's get him the
everybody
ball.
knows
You know what I'm
favorite
saying? That's the
Everybody
favorite
knows.
toy. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but that also goes to, is Dalvin Cook better than Aaron Jones? There's a lot of shit that goes into play there. because Devontae takes that much stress. He puts that much stress on the defense. You have to account for who the fuck do they have to account for? Christian Watson. He's having a great year. 7 touchdowns, 4 games. That's great. Yeah. Go off. But at the same time, you're not 17. Like you're not, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Imagine if they had Devontae and they drafted Christian. When they had Alan Lazard on that team, they were going 12-4 consistently.
Oh, yeah.
MVPs. Back to back. This guy, MVP Aaron Rodgers.
Adams, I'm not gonna lie. Like, Devontae Adams have shown me a lot this year.
Devontae has been cooking.
Touchdowns.
He's been cooking.
Even Derek,
that walk off joint
is losing.
And Derek Carr is playing like shit.
But here's the thing.
Derek Carr's not playing like shit.
But he's not playing like we thought he was going to play.
But here's the thing. He had the same
How did you think he was going to play?
He had the
I
same.
Derek Carr would be in the
I just don't think
the Raiders would be too.
No, though I think the Raiders just aren't winning
right now.
I think the Raiders just aren't winning.
We said preseason.
Derek Carr's putting up good
every
numbers.
Piece of the Raiders offense that you can.
Listen.
Any piece.
But hear me out though. Like I feel like Derek Carr's putting up good. The Raiders aren't winning games. You know what I'm saying? You can't only put that on Derek Carr and the offense. You can't. You know what I'm saying? Like Derek Carr wasn't the one that let Van Jefferson or let Baker Mayfield drive the field. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they should have scored more points in that game. Yeah, sure. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? I'm just saying like the Raiders are losing games that they should be winning. How many close ass games have they lost? You know what I'm saying?
It's like my fantasy team, man.
So that's all. I mean, if we're talking about Derek, like I feel like Derek Carr's having a good year. Devontae Adams is having a great year, but I don't think it compares to what you know. But to your point,
Tyreek Hill, don't.
He's having a great year, and this is first year. You talking about? He's never played with Tua. You know what I'm saying? This nigga going stupid.
But it's not. Here's the thing: Devontae's going stupid too.
Yeah, but you're talking about
teams. Their teams are better. Like here's the thing: like Miami got a brand new coach. I mean, so did the Raiders, but they play in the same division. They play in it's not as good of a team. There's not as good of a team as the Dolphins are. The Raiders are just not as good.
Let's get to this last sitting on the defense.
Even last year, they wasn't as good as the Dolphins were.
Last sitting on the defense, we got the Titans at the Chargers. Like my co-host said, I feel like this is going to be a crazy game for Justin Herbert. I feel like he's going to be the number 1 quarterback this week.
Number one.
Said
top 10.
I feel like the Titans are going to give up like 450 to 500 total yards this game. I feel like Austin Eckler going to go crazy. Josh Palmer, Keenan Allen's been playing great since he's been back. Mike Williams is back, scoring touchdowns. I feel like it's going to be a crazy game for the Chargers. I feel like this is going to be a good. The Titans have a chance to win this game though. Still, even if the Chargers put up hella yards, I feel like Derrick Henry is going to put up hella yards. This could be a 200-yard game for Derrick Henry. So we're gonna see. But yeah, that wraps up the sit-ems for this week.
All right,
let's get it, gang.
That just about wraps up the show for this week.
Don't start those niggas.
Don't start those guys. Start the guys that tweet
that I suggested.
For show.
Start those guys.
We're winding down. It's playoff time. This is the first week of the playoffs. It's playoff week.
We're here.
Two
more weeks.
Yeah, if you're not subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting on. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? And make sure you check us out on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all the podcast platforms, wherever you listen to podcasts. You don't got to listen to us every single place.
Get your FanDuel shit. Look, y'all see my shit? FanDuel. Get it up and popping.
Is there any green on there? Is there any green on there?
Nah. These are scores right now. Don't worry about my winnings. I can't show them my winnings, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, look, bro, get on the FanDuel, do y'all thing. Like we said, same game parlays. My man Mac gonna give them to you in between the Start Ems Sit Ems every single week. So tune in. We got those bets for you too.
For sure. So everything has been said. Everybody have a good weekend and a good fantasy weekend.
Good luck on the playoffs, man.
Good luck in the playoffs to those who made it, yo.
Good luck.
Hey, it's a one-off. We be back next year, dog. Already.
Y'all know me. I come in. I'm confident. Thank you. We're gonna see.